They don't do bubblegum in movies anymore.
No, they don't. And it's just like the smacking. It's almost like you want that person to die. Not really. I mean, you never want anybody to die. But just they don't. I don't know why they took that out of movies, and it was in almost every single movie of my childhood that I can remember.
Yeah, like kids and teens were smacking that gum.
Yeah, and it was
just
like
because sound artists were like, get that off of here.
Maybe, and like the half smirk, like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that, it's like their thinking face. It's like the
you gotta have that half smirk because you're trying to keep your gum in your mouth or whatever.
Yeah, and like just like where that. Can't hear it.
That's pretty great. Thank you for that.
It's wonderful.
Hello and welcome to Library Grindhouse. The only ticket you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah. And today we'll be giving you our top 5 reasons why to watch the 1986 film Chopping Mall.
All right, Leah, but first, why don't you hit him with that spoiler-free plot summary?
8 teenagers are locked in a new high-tech shopping mall, along with rogue, murderous, yet somehow still polite security robots.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Still polite. Keep that in mind.
That's all you got? Okay. Cool. Well, just a heads up before we dive into the things, that this movie was released a few months before Short Circuit, where a combat robot also goes off the rails after a lightning strike. It's also a year before RoboCop with Ed 209. So before you go start pointing fingers that this movie ripped things off, just
really?
FYI.
Well, it was great because I did not know that. And my first note...
I had to look it up.
My first note is literally a high-tech short-circuit security machine.
Because I knew that Short Circuit came out at that year in '86, but I had to see the release date. Now it's very possible that they knew things,
or they started production beforehand, or something.
And these guys, I mean, obviously it was cheap, dirty, could turn around faster. But anyway, just FYI. So Leah, what's your number 5 reason to watch this film?
My number 5 reason is the pickup line: "You smell like pepperoni."
You smell like pepperoni.
And guess what, people? Spoiler alert: it works.
Yeah, no.
Only the 80s.
Not my experience, so good for that person, I guess.
It was great. I was just like, interesting.
I mean,
that
you work in a
works.
pizza place.
You smell like pepperoni, and I love pepperoni.
It's a line. It's a way to go. It's a choice.
It's something.
It's a choice.
What's your number 5 reason, Jesse?
My number 5 reason, the name and poster. I mean, look at that dang poster and tell me that if you were in a video store in 1987, you're able to, that you wouldn't rent this movie. I mean, it's awesome. It's also the height of mall culture, so why not set a horror movie in a mall? I mean, yeah, Dawn of the Dead did it first. I understand that. But it didn't have a punny title now, did it?
That is true. Now, I will say, this definitely made me nostalgic for, like,
a good 80s mall?
Yes, 80s, early 90s mall. You just don't have that anymore.
No.
You don't understand the hustle, the bustle of a mall, and like
just
all the different types of people and just everyone, everywhere. Now you walk into a mall and it looks like a ghost town.
It does. It's kind of sad.
It is sad because I just remember telling it, hey, we're just going to go to the mall and walk around a mall and not even buy anything because we didn't have money. We only had the gas to get to said mall and hope that we would run into people.
That's right.
That doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't.
Sad.
It doesn't. It is sad.
But at least they avoid killer robots. So.
Very true. Very true.
You know?
Bring back the mall, y'all. Bring back the mall. All right. Leah, what's number 4 reason?
So this, I don't know if it's a staple of the 80s, early 90s movies, but as soon as I saw just this snapshot, it made me nostalgic also. The smirky, gum-chewing smile of just the person that you know is going to be killed or the bad guy. Just the smacking, gum-chewing smirk close-up shot. Screams 80s, early 90s.
Gosh,
They
don't do bubblegum in movies anymore.
No, they don't. And it's just like the smacking. It's almost like you want that person to die. Not really. I mean, you never want anybody to die. But just they don't. I don't know why they took that out of movies, and it was in almost every single movie of my childhood that I can remember.
Yeah, like kids and teens were smacking that gum.
Yeah, and it was
just
like
because sound artists were like, get that off of here.
Maybe, and like the half smirk. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like their thinking face. It's like the...
Yeah, or yeah, you gotta have that half smirk because you're trying to keep your gum in your mouth or whatever.
Yeah, and like, just like, where are they at? Can't even.
That's pretty great.
It's,
Thank you for that.
It's wonderful. But yes, I mean, I feel like that should just be a trademark.
Bring back malls, bring back gum in our movies.
Let's go, people.
Cool.
All right, Jesse, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the glorious synth score. As always, I'm a sucker for a good synth score, and this movie has a delightfully cheesy one. Bonus of a sped up elevator scene where a Karate Kid's crammed into an elevator with the kid and smashing his ice cream cone into his shirt.
Yes.
I mean, that's a choice. I was like, there's no other shot like this in the movie. It's just this mall montage. This kid is in the elevator with his ice cream cone. He goes, ah! And all the people pour in fast motion. Then they pour out of the elevator, and his poor ice cream is just all over his shirt.
It's to show how busy that malls used to be, just in case you forgot. Yeah, where were the kids' parents?
I don't know. It was the 80s, Leah.
Why?
Forget it, Leah. It was the 80s. They didn't care.
They didn't care.
The kid probably wandered in there by himself.
If he's in the mall, he's safe.
They gave him like a couple bucks for ice cream, and we're like, go hang out at the mall for a while, go up and down the elevator or something.
Down the elevators. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Forget it, Leah. It was the 80s. All right, Leah, what's number 3?
Oh, my number 3 is kind of actually piggybacking off of you, but mine was the synth score that happens when the 3 boys are walking out. It's the typical about to do battle scene. The slow motion walking out. You know they're going to face off with a robot for the first time, and the music that played was just perfection.
Nice.
Just high wailing guitars.
Forgot about the guitar.
It was great. It was great. Yes, that is my number 3 reason, just for that scene alone.
I was too curious wondering how that was going to pan out for them, but I was like, these are armored robots. Like,
it's true, which guns do not work. It was in the commercial for the
guy
robot.
who picked the shotgun, I'm like, are they all slugs? Because if that's all shot, you're not going to have any luck, dude. Like, no penetration, man.
It's just that yes, it's a robot. It's a metal robot that literally in the commercial says like guns doesn't do anything to it. So what do? They get guns. I know that they probably didn't see the commercial. Obviously, they're workers, but still, like after the first couple of times you're shooting after a robot and you hear it ping off, they did think of something else, but stop shooting at it. Like,
but I don't know why they had the promo of the robot footage. That would seem like that'd be like a prospectus for investors versus like. And your security team starts tonight.
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, we're gonna, it just made no sense. But it's kind of fun to get an intro on what these robots can do with hecklers in the crowd.
It was. Yeah, it's like the random hecklers.
Statler and Waldorf in the crowd, just like roasting them.
Which, why? I don't understand.
And I'm like, I've seen that guy in things before. I should have looked him up. I recognize his name, but I don't remember.
I thought that those people were gonna die, but it was just
no,
like
you never see them
yeah,
again. It's like
Paul. They look like the Three Stooges.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. But anyway, yeah. All right, my number 3.
Yes, your number 3.
All right. Have a nice day. They got so much mileage from that line that I hope they claimed it on their taxes. The crazy reverb on it when one of the kids uses it as the killbot, it's just hysterical, or uses it at the killbots. It's just absolutely hysterical. I'm here for it.
Have a nice day.
I also love that the paint and paint thinner are supposedly explosive and sounds like applause when it's burning.
I was so upset that there wasn't like a color explosion because I was like 80s color explosion.
Oh, like, that would have been pretty fun.
But they didn't do it. I was waiting for it.
But I feel like the color bomb thing is more of a 2010s thing, if anything.
That is true, but I just meant like splattering of paint, and then it would just be like a multicolored.
I don't know how they would have really made that work well.
I don't know, but how could they make killer robots?
I don't think they were trying that hard, Leah.
I was like, ooh, we're gonna see everyone like in just paint color everywhere, and it's gonna end bright color note, pure 80s movie. Great.
Oh, Leah, what's your number 2?
My number 2 reason, the light tap of a floor cleaner being able to hit something and it explodes.
What?
Yes.
Light tap of a floor cleaner. You got to explain this to me, Leah.
So, the one guy and girl couple, the couple who love each other. I forget what their names. There's too many couples.
Wait, the married couple?
No, they were the high schoolers, but they were like the two dark-haired couples.
Like the established couple or
yes,
the new couple?
The established couple. She had just been shot or lasered. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
yeah. And then so her boyfriend is like super upset, so he jumps on a floor cleaner, like one of the floor cleaner that you ride, and he just lightly taps into it. Gets electrocuted, but that light tap causes an explosion.
Well, no, the electricity is what ended up doing it.
Yes, but
that's why I was like, "What? The explosion?"
But it was such a light little tap.
I was too distracted by the crazy animated lightning.
And that is true.
I didn't notice anything else other than that crazy.
But that whole scene was just so funny to me because he gets on it and he's just like, ah! And then it just goes. Like it was like one of those Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like, or you know what I mean, when there's something coming over. Yeah. And it's just like this. At least I thought he would like put in gear and at least fly, but no, it's tap, and it's not even like a hit. The robot doesn't even move. It's just a tap, and then it's electrocuted and explosion. It was great. It's my number 2 reason because it was so great. It was hysterical.
It just didn't pop out at me like that.
It was great. I guess. It was great for me.
Cool. Your mileage may vary. My number 2 reason is the killbots. They're way cooler than they should be for a movie this cheap. I appreciated the varied weaponry that they have, and number 5's Tread from Short Circuit and the voice of Ed 209 from RoboCop, while predating both of those films, which is pretty cool.
I also love the fact that they have their like claw that clamps shut, and that is literally their like how they are trying to antagonize their prey, or like they always like. And then everyone's like, what?
And they're like up like crabs.
Yes!
I just thought about that.
And it looked like they were like going for a hug whenever like I literally was like,
hug me.
Just give him a hug. That's all me. Go after him. It was great. Like not whoever thought of this movie, but just the robots themselves. I do applaud you.
Had to, because you probably had $1.95 and some duct tape to make these robots, and they made multiples of them.
Although I do want to know, why were they equipped with lasers to begin with?
To be able to cut through anything, I think is what they said, so that if they needed to, like if someone tried to put something in their way to stop them, they could cut through it ostensibly.
And then why do they have like explosive putty or charge putty? I was wondering that too.
I feel like that was like a component of theirs that they weaponized.
Okay.
And then because they tasered it. To make it blow up. So I don't think that was standard operating procedure. I think that was something where it's like they figured out that they have some part of them. I don't think that. But then again, they were able to cut through anything. So I have a feeling maybe that was they had something to be able to blow hinges off doors to be able to whatever they needed to do to stop shoplifting. Which, if you got that much of a shoplifting problem, close the mall because.
Don't leave like the outside doors wide open from 6 a.m. on until midnight.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got bigger issues than needing. I mean, before you do killbots, like figure out what's going on. Why are people stealing everything?
That is true. I will say for like another, I guess 1.5 for my reason why it would be that. The robots like really utilize teamwork pretty well.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
You know what I mean? They did. Robots. You know, Robot 2, I need your assistance. Come here.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it obviously in more robotic terms, but. But
detain the whatever. I forget what the terminology they used. They're going up the escalators. I'm like, they used the escalator. What?
And the beautiful 3-point turn that one of them, did in the middle of an elevator. That was pretty swift. That was pretty great.
Yeah, these robots rocked. All right, Leah, your number 1 reason to watch this movie.
Oh, because I said so. This movie was it was Grindhouse fun. It really was. I mean, down to the build-up, which was hysterical, down to, to the killings, which were great. And who knew that a mall would be or a furniture store would be such a place to throw a party? Like, I found that out. What?
Right?
I wish I was born in the 80s. What is that? Well, I was. But not the last year of the 80s. I wish I got to experience the 80s.
I did, but I aged out of the 80s when I was like 9.
See, that's not.
So,
you didn't
like,
get to like fully
no,
experience it.
Nope. All
What's
right.
your number one reason, Jesse?
Because I said so. I mean, look, this movie doesn't end with a plot wrap or a theme song, but it does end with cast freeze frames pre-Predator, and a post-credit stinger pre-Ferris Bueller. Both of those are 87 movies. This movie, or no, Ferris Bueller was 86. But anyway, this movie scooped Short Circuit, RoboCop, Predator, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it stars the legendary Barbara Crampton and Dick Miller.
Look what you did. I ought to turn you into scrap metal for this.
Dick Miller's in it. Piranha. We covered
I did not
him.
even realize
He's
that.
the janitor.
I did not even
Sloshing
realize
the mud on the
that. No,
floor.
it's true. Now that you said it, I was just like, oh my goodness, that's who that was.
Yes. Our friend Dick Miller already returning.
Even that scene was great.
Yeah.
Every little scene in this movie has something special to it. I mean, it is definitely worth a watch. This movie is definitely worth a watch.
100% see
And
it.
It's what, an hour and 14 minutes?
You have no excuse.
It is great. It is definitely
Yeah.
worth whatever you were gonna do for the next hour. Homework, watch Chopping Mall. Are you
No.
kidding me?
Yeah, take a brain break. You deserve it.
Yes, absolutely. It was great. I say that's a tie.
It's a tie. It's a tie. Now, only if you're old enough to watch this or your parents are cool with it.
That's true.
If it's a homework situation.
Well, I'm saying homework because I'm grad school homework. Push it off. Who needs grad school homework?
I was like, let's not
Swipe
encourage
it.
the third graders
no,
who might
children,
have found this.
you do your homework. You do your homework right now.
And ask for permission before watching Chopping Mall.
That was me. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, well, those are our reasons to check out Chopping Mall. So head over to Hoopla to check it out for yourself if you're old enough. For Library Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day.